Hey FFBE, what's going on? So it is the week of October 26th. We just finished farming out everything from this week. We took a look at all the items that were available from units and farming and new story events, etc. And we've got a review. This week I'm joined by a special guest, Deus Gaming, or Deus. Say hi.
What's up, guys?
So this week we're going to go on with the story event craftable, the new Trust Masteries, STMRs, and Vision cards from the units, the Chronicle Battle craftables, the 12 type takedown trials rewards, the King Mog items, and then we'll touch base a little bit on the Global Original Vision card Step Up Summon. Okay, so let's go ahead and go in. Our first item on the ticket is from the story. It is a craftable for an upgrade for Tyvus's STMR. It is Raging Tempest +1 with now 210 attack, resolve to protect.
TMR.
Oh, his TMR. I thought it was his STMR. It's his TMR.
No, the STMR is the material that gives the mod boost, right?
Oh, I thought it was the other way around. Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, so this is his TMR, so even better. So it's got 210 attack, two-handed weapon with boost attack by 1100% and 100% killer to everything, and chain cap for 100%, and then machine killer for 100%. So what do you think about this?
Definitely a best in slot for him because back before this upgrade, the attack on the weapon was a little low. So how this works is that the variants changed a long time ago, made this weapon not so good because lower attack, but now it's a lot better, and it also has a lot more flat attack on it. He also has, I think, 300% machine killer once this is equipped. He also has 600% cap, so he doesn't need that anymore. Very good sword for him, very, very good. Best in slot easily.
Now, if you're not using it on him, though, I mean, this is best in slot definitely for him. If you're not using it on him, though, is it great, or?
It's good because it's a two-handed weapon at least. So if you're a new player and you have no two-handed weapons and you pull this guy from like an EX ticket or something, it's still worth upgrading because at least it's a two-handed greatsword.
Yeah, because what are your other options for your two-handed greatswords?
Esther.
Esther?
I think that might be it.
Okay. Let me take a look here.
There's other options, but they're gonna be a lot less attack than Esther's.
You've got another item that we're going to talk about here in a second. Deathbringer, but it's not two-handed. Oh, it can be two-handed, actually.
But it is locked to dark.
It is dark locked, that is true. And then, yeah, you've got Esther's and Knights of Grand Shelt, I suppose.
Yeah, that's an option.
Yeah. Okay. So not bad for free from story. It's up there with the STMR stuff that you would get. So, but you do have to already have Tyvus and upgrade. So, yeah.
Oh, I will say a caveat, very quick caveat. There are dark vision weapons that are coming out that'll be two-handed, and there's not a greatsword one yet. So this for one that will be only 10,000 dark matter will be much better than this weapon by far. It'll be like 400 attack or something.
Oh, yeah, the new Dark Visions weapons. We're waiting on those, man.
Yeah.
When does that drop?
Well, Global just got the upgrades for ones that they should have gotten a long time ago, which is kind of a yikes. So I think they're dragging their feet.
Oh yeah, we'll probably not get the new Dark Visions weapons for 2 years or whatever. All right, so moving on to the 12 types takedown trial rewards. It's killers. We got Beast Killer plus Recipe, Beast Killer plus itself, and then Fairy Eater Sense. Okay, so I guess for this one, let's compare how good they are versus how hard the trial is, I guess.
Cerberus trial actually is pretty difficult especially if you're like a middle player even. Like, yeah, there's the Goldbaz thing you can do, but not everybody's going to have him. Not everybody's going to have the perfect setup for him. So this is one of the trials you can't just use global exclusives and just blow over him, right? You actually have to bring a specific team most likely to beat this.
Yeah.
But the Fairy Eater sense is very good though. There's not a lot of Fairy Killer in the game. On the other hand, the Beast Killer is not as valuable because there is Irvine's STMR that gives 100% Beast Killer on a 5-star, so you can easily just get a whole bunch of those. What are you guys using those great tickets for nowadays, right?
The select summon tickets? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Nothing? I'm sitting on 300 right now and trying to figure out a reason to use them. There's too many units. I don't know what to do with all of my 5-stars, so I'm not going to select a few. But yeah, for Beast Killer, we've got so many sources of that this 12 types takedown wasn't really one that I like rushed to go kill. So not a killer I needed right away. The Fairy Eater sense is nice, but again, that's on the advanced version of the trial, which is much more difficult.
That's something that a new player is not going to be seeing for a long time.
But a new player might be able to, with Goldbaz and say Oliveira's card, might be able to do the Beast Killer Plus, like the int version of the trial.
No, for sure, they could do that.
Yeah, and with Goldbaz essentially being free, and if you've ever pulled any premium, you can go and get Oliveira's Vision card for free from that shop. I think it's very possible to do that.
That's possible.
Yeah. All right. So if you can get it, definitely worth farming because it's free. The Fairy Eater is way better than the Beast Killer, though. All right, moving on to Deathbringer. And yeah, Deathbringer first. We'll talk about that one. So 220 attack, Dark Elemental, boost attack by 1,000, and physical damage against humans by 75%. Now, the boost attack by 1,000 is locked to Dark Knight Cecil and Red Wing Cecil only, though.
The first one is useless because Dark Knight Cecil, I believe, never got his upgrades on Global, and even by then, it's like it won't change anything. So this is really only intended for the base form of the new Cecil. That's it.
Yeah, it's base form of new Cecil. Yeah. So it's a 220 attack Dark Lock weapon, which is great if you're using Dark.
Yeah.
And it's got Human Killer for 75%. So like if you were going to a trial that you could actually hit it with Dark, great. Is there anything that's coming from the JP side that is Dark weak and perhaps a human?
Technically nothing that's Dark weak, quote unquote, but there is the final boss that will be coming eventually to Global, the Iron Giant, who is very creatively just raising his sword up instead of holding it down. But he's technically strong against all elements, so actually you could use Dark on this boss, which I've done actually. I've beaten him with Dark.
Oh, nice. Okay, so when that trial comes out, Deathbringer could be useful.
Definitely, 100%.
Okay.
And actually, it'd be really good because of the Human Killer on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's one of if not the highest attacks in the game, but it is Dark Locked and yeah. But again, you said whenever the Dark Visions weapons come out, if they come out.
If they come out, yeah, the Great Sword, I'm assuming it will have 400 something attack. And if you're a new player, by the way, this is how this works. For TDH units, see that this weapon here, the Darkbringer, has 1,000 flat attack on it, but that doesn't count towards TDH. So actually, a weapon with 400 attack will actually beat this weapon out, because it actually counts towards the TDH gimmick.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So the flat attack is completely ignored by TDH.
Yeah, the flat attack is just added. It's just added on as a number. It's just like plus 1,000.
For example, here's an easy example. There actually is a katana, two-handed katana, Dark Vision katana right now that's 400 attack, something like that. And you know the Sephiroth katana, the Mursame, I think that's what it's called, right?
Murasame.
Mursame has the attack, but has that extra 500 flat. The Dark Vision katana is actually much better. It gives him much more attack, for example. It brings him over. I think it brings him over 10,000 with that weapon equipped.
Wow.
So it's quite good.
Yeah. Okay, so great weapon, but look forward more towards the Dark Visions weapons coming out again. But against the Iron Giant, be best in slot perhaps. Okay. Well, this is permanent content, the Rubicante fight. So if you don't feel like farming it this week, it's always gonna be there. So. Then you got the Mythgraven Blade, which is 85 attack, 230 spirit, 50% spirit, and for Cecil, Paladin Cecil, and Red Wing Cecil only, HP by 3,000 and spirit for 1,000.
Easily best in slot for him in his Brave Ship form. Easily. It gives him so much stats. It's unreal how much stats he gets from this.
And he's a pretty good unit, right?
Yeah, he's really good he's a really good tank for sure. I mean, in terms of global standards, people might I have Chow, but this guy can get insane stats as a magic tank.
Well, people always say like, but I have Chow, but Chow's a time limited unit. So
for sure.
So what if people joined in, I'll say, the last 3 months? They don't
and
have.
They get Cecil.
Yeah, they get Cecil.
Very good, still very good. He has a lot of magic mitigation. He has a lot of some racial mitigation. He has some elemental resistances. He actually has a lot of elemental resistance buffs, like insane amount. And this sword here will boost up his stats a lot. Like it's actually, like I keep saying, it's insane that they allowed him to get this.
Does this sword make him stat-wise better than Chow?
I think it would give him more stats than Chow. Well, we're talking about EX3 to EX3. I think this sword gives him the edge. No pun intended, I guess.
Yeah, because you really want that spirit to be as high as you can, but boosting HP by 3,000, that's pretty nice.
It's insane. And then you give him the collaboration vision card that has a lot of HP on it.
Mm-hmm. Or the Ject vision card if you've got it.
Yeah, that's true. That too. Or the I don't know if the Ash one will work on him. Maybe. His own card really isn't that amazing.
No, it's not. We'll talk about that in a minute. We're getting there. We're getting to his vision card. All right, so great item if you picked up Red Wing's Cecil, but otherwise, it's good spirit. If for your tank, it could be pretty good. If your tank's dying a lot.
For the 7-star Cecil, actually, this gives him a lot of stats too.
Oh
the
yeah.
Paladin Cecil.
Or the 3-star Cecil.
Yeah. the 7-star Cecil can actually tank some modern trials with this sword equipped. I tested it.
Oh really? And what do you mean by modern? Like, are we talking
the 12 type takedowns?
Oh, okay, great. Okay, so definitely worth farming if you're using Paladin Cecil or Red Wing Cecil. Okay. I like it. All right, going to the next ones. The Goldbaz armor for Final Fantasy IV. This is Goldbaz's Trust Mastery? Or is it his STMR?
STMR.
It's his STMR, and then it's 2 different upgrades for it. And you can get both. You don't have to switch between 2 or only pick one. It's the same defense and magic for both of them, the same dark resistance on both of them. What changes between the different ones are the activated ability. The first one is boost physical and magical killers for Reapers for all allies, and boost physical and magical damage for Reapers for allies for a certain number of turns. Oh yeah, so that's 2 different killers, right? It's do you have that?
No, it's just physical and magical Reaper killer.
But it's like 2 different stats of killers. Like one is for like this turn and one is for like multiple turns afterwards, right?
Oh, I know what the wording is kind of weird, but it's actually so it's a higher amount of killer at first and then it lowers down, I believe.
At first it's 130% for 3 turns, and then after 3 turns it activates an ability for 150% for 3 turns. So it's actually higher after 3 turns.
I would still say this is kind of mediocre though, because I'm pretty sure we have something that can just give 150% for all allies anyways.
You mean like a unit?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I don't think consolidation. If you're going specifically against a Reaper and you're bringing Goldbaz, it's good. I mean, well, you don't actually have to. Oh no, you do have to be using him to use that ability.
Yes.
So,
I honestly don't think it's that good.
Yeah. The other one, though, I really enjoy if you're using Goldbaz. Jet Black Curse with defense and spirit reduction for 87%, dark resistance for 130%, and then after 3 turns, it becomes an 88% defense and spirit break with 150% dark resistance in peril.
Much better. Much better. This is the one you want to go for.
Mm-hmm. I think it's fantastic, the curse, because if you're in like budget land, an 88% break is really high. And to just be able to use it on a triple cast, because this is included in his triple cast, you could do his meteor power up, you could do this, and you could do his magic buff, and then next turn use meteor. I mean, I think this is great.
Yeah, 100%. Much better. And this is also the highest dark and peril in the game until the new Gilgamesh comes out.
Yeah. I think since we're on this step here, and we're talking about the Goldbaz armors, how good is Goldbaz?
Well, okay, so I'm gonna be honest. He is very strong right now, but there are some changes that will be coming to the game for Dark Visions, especially in Vision World, where you can't use the imbuable magic on magic stages anymore. You can only use magic on magic stages and physical stages.
So he becomes a unit that's not usable in Vision World at all?
In Dark Visions.
In Dark Visions.
Because, yeah, the magic asterisk damage that you see on the wiki a lot, you will not be able to use that on magic stages anymore.
So you'll have to use that on physical stages?
Yes.
And on physical stages, they turn up the spirit to like ridiculous amounts.
Yeah, and also normally you'd rather just do physical units because they're just easier to gear for and easier to set up.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you go to Clash of Wills, there's a lot of, there's some bosses that drain MP, for example, which you have to waste a turn giving his MP back up to full.
Well, you always have to waste a turn because whenever he uses his skill, his MP goes to 0.
No, I'm saying like if they ever made a boss where they have preemptive MP drain or something.
Okay. Yep.
And they've done that before, so I'm just saying that
they have done that.
I think that people need to not ride the hype train completely on this guy. I know he's really good and all, but I think we need to cool the jets a little bit.
Okay, so you're like, nah, he's not that good. All right, but he is for this week. He's great.
He's great. But let's think about everything that's coming up.
Okay. Well, he's basically free, so he's not that bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move on to the King Mog items. Defender. This is from the King Mog farmables. We have Defender. It's a sword with 200 attack, 70 spirit, 70 attack, yeah, and 160 spirit. 100 HP, and enable protect, boost defense and reduce physical damage taken for 1 ally.
The passive is pretty much useless, but the stats are surprisingly very good for a free weapon. Obviously, this is meant for the new Cecil. As someone, if you're a new player, you just put this on him in his Braveshift form.
Like if you started today and got the new Cecil.
Yeah, it has 200 HP, which is actually quite good. Because there actually is a surprisingly lack of weapons that have HP on them. Most of them only have like 100 or something, so this is actually quite good for free. And the spirit is 160, which is almost shield level of spirit. So this is a very good. I would say this is like A tier in terms of free equipment. And sadly, the protect thing is going to be completely useless because most mitigation will just override that anyways.
Oh, yeah, the Protect is 200% defense buff and 30% physical mit.
Yeah, that's not very useful. So you just pretend it doesn't even have a passive.
But it's a magic. If some reason you had a unit with, like, I don't know, a dual cast or something, I don't know. But it's probably, you'll never use it. And then we have Aegis Shield. Although I do like the HP one. You are right with that. Aegis Shield has 60 defense, 150 spirit, terrible sprite as far as I'm concerned, and nullifies...
It looks like an egg.
I know, it's growth egg. Then it's got null sleep paralysis and stone.
I think you can skip this one.
Yeah, honestly, it's like ribbon, you know?
Yeah. Even as a new player, you could find a TMR that has a shield that's much better than this.
I mean, we get at like if you're equipping shields, you're probably only equipping them on your tank, right?
Yeah.
And if you're going for your tank, I'd get probably Marlboro Shield.
Mm-hmm.
And that's free and like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
So just farmable in the Vortex. What, like the first Rumble of the Marlboro fight or whatever?
Yep.
So to say like a King Mog item is better than a 4 or 5 year old item. I mean, it's worse than a 4 or 5 year old item that's free in
it's
trial.
Pretty
like,
sad.
It's pretty terrible. So
yeah,
not worth it. I'm sorry, Aegis Shield. All right, so we're moving on to the TMRs and STMRs. So first up is the STMR for Cecil, Paladin Cecil's armor. It is a heavy armor that can only be equipped by magic tanks, with 60 attack, 80 defense, 115 spirit, HP 100%, and Reaper Killer 75%.
The undead killer's pointless.
Yeah, because
you're never gonna need that.
Because on a magic tank.
Yeah, not needed. But the 100% HP is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
It has the spirit is a little lacking, I would say. The spirit is a lot lower than what you would expect.
I wish it had HP flat stats on it, not just the 100%. But
yeah, I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised. I'm still kind of surprised that they made this STMR not that good. But you need to have it equipped on his, and his Wraith Shift form. You need this equipped on him.
It's so unfortunate his STMR and Trust Mastery that they're both heavy armors.
And yeah, speaking of that, you need to have his TMR equipped in his base form too, because he actually starts out with I believe he starts out with a reduction of either light or dark. I can't remember exactly, but because I only use his base form for the field, and I switched to his Wraith Shift form anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But you need his TMR equipped in his base form 100%. I remember that much.
Yeah, if I'm going for a tank build, I'm probably using one of the Warrior's Prayer units, like for the flat HP with 100% rather than something like this.
Yeah. There's almost no reason to go for the Paladin Cecil's armor unless you're using Paladin Cecil himself. It's lacking actually a lot of things that normal STMRs get nowadays.
Yeah. It's low spirit, it's got the HP 100%, which is nice, but it doesn't make any sense, and you can only equip it on specifically magic tanks.
Yeah.
So,
if this was on like a support DPS or something, maybe it would be decent because it actually has 60 attack.
Yeah.
So it would have been nice on a support DPS, but nope.
Yep. So then I see this as, unless you need it to be on him specifically, not worth getting.
Yeah.
The Trust Mastery is another heavy armor with 60 attack, 40 defense and spirit. You can actually equip it on anybody. Light and dark resistance by 50%, and for Cecil only, boost attack by 750, and boost damage of his certain abilities, and enable Dark Wave, boost damage of certain abilities for himself.
It's okay for him. For anyone else, it's just kind of just a flat attack, or just like a Hep 60 attack armor, I guess. Apparently, though, there's something that is something with Dark Knight Pain and working with this guy's TMR somehow. Something where like it stacks.
So yeah, it increases the move Darkness, which is consume HP to deal 40x damage and do 120% in peril. And it adds 400x to the mod. So
Yeah.
if you're using the move Darkness, it actually makes it have a respectable like mod, which is kind of nice. Now that's not a magic, is it? That's just a skill,
No,
right?
it's a physical. I think it's maybe it's not physical. I'm actually gonna look this up myself.
Attack-based physical damage.
Okay, so yeah, it's just a finisher. Dark physical damage when you sacrifice HP. Yep.
And
But
you're saying you can use this on Dark Knight Pain?
something like that. You can stack up with her active skill, so you'll actually go crazy high mods, like 3,270 times if you do everything correctly.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, that's really high. Even for, that's an ability modifier, so that is really high still.
Yeah,
like really high.
You can triple cast Darkness with Dark Knight Pain.
Yeah, it's actually extremely high. So this is definitely something to look forward to if you want to use Pain, and you have this.
Okay, so you would use this first. You would use Cecil's Trust Mastery first, and then use Darkness into a chain on turn 2. Okay.
Something like that, I believe. I don't know I don't know. I'm not familiar with the whole combo, but I know that the modifier is really that high.
Yeah, because
It's insane,
hers is 350x, and she can. Oh no, she can't use her cooldown until turn 3. She can't boost hers until turn 3. So the earliest you could do this Pain combo is turn 4.
Still fine.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of other units take way longer ramp than that, Angela.
Yeah. I love that.
So if you're a big fan of Dark Knight Pain, this is great. Okay. Otherwise, you know, it's all right. Yeah. Very niche. Moving on to the next. These are the new Roses STMR. It is a bow with 210 attack, 180 spirit, and Dragon Killer, 75%.
Garbage. The Dragon Killer, like there's so much Dragon Killer falling out of your ears. How much Dragon Killer there is in this game?
Falling out of your ears.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Yeah, it's got low attack, and I wish bows were better. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Is there a bow besides the Dark Visions bow, I guess, in the future that is worth like looking at? That it's coming from the JP side, or do bows just get to stay terrible forever?
Bows get to stay terrible forever.
Oh well. Okay. So, is this even good on her?
No.
Okay. So you'd
only
run...
only 180 spirit. So you just run something else.
Huh. All right. Then her Trust Mastery is clothes that is only for healer units, with 40 attack, 50 defense and spirit, 20% light and dark resistance, and reduce MP cost by 30%.
This is very good. On the other hand, because the MP cost reduction. And keep in mind for new players, or at least people who are, you know, casuals or things, even though it says healer unit only, keep in mind some units have dual roles. For example, let's take for example Starlet Elena. She's mainly a DPS, but she also has a breaker tag. So I discovered a long time ago, and this was opening people's eyes, that that new Axe Star, his STMR can only be equipped by breakers, and it gives TDH. So that was kind of like a breakthrough, no pun intended again. You could equip that on Starlet Elena to give her more TDH. Even though she's primarily DPS, she has that breaker tag, and so something like this Rose's dress, even if it says healers unit only, there might be some units out there that are a healer and something else as well. So you could equip that on this. And the stats are kind of respectable.
Yeah, I always like anything that reduces MP cost.
Yeah, especially in Clash of Wills. You never know when that sneaky MP draining boss is going to come through.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're using a healer unit, it might be pretty good, but her Super Trust Mastery is completely worth skipping. So it looks like a week for Trust Masteries for the units if you end up getting those. Then we're moving on to the Vision card that comes with Cecil and Rosa. They share their Vision card. At max level, it's 120 attack and spirit. Boosts all elemental resistances by 30%. Equipment attack and equipment spirit by 50% when single wielding, and attack and spirit by 500 equipped on a Final Fantasy IV unit. I like that the card has Tella in it.
The first one is pretty good because you never know. Like sometimes there's always those kind of situations where like, oh my god, I need, a little bit of resistance. Where am I gonna get it from? This could be one of those situations. But I can only see that being useful with this card out of all the abilities.
I mean, if you're trying to go for some of the highest elemental resistance, actually a lot of the freebie cards that you get have some of the highest elemental resistance. Like some of them have like 60 water resistance on them, for instance. And so they don't have any flat stats, but a lot of time if you're gearing for elements, it's usually like full resistance and your unit doesn't take damage. So
yeah, I'm trying to give it some kind of a positive here.
Yeah, it does have all elements though, so that's nice. You're just looking for, I don't know, you never know what Clash of Wills is going to throw at us, so we could need
everything
all
else
elements.
Is completely ignorable.
Yeah, it's not ignorable. It might see use, but it's not worth chasing. The equipment, attack, and spirit, I don't know. I don't see it as being. I mean, why do we need equipment spirit on a vision card? I guess have we had a spirit-based damage unit?
Every now and then they pop up, but it's been a while.
Yeah. All right. So I see it as kind of missable, and that'd be fine. All right. So then we've got. Now this is a little contested for this week. We didn't know that we were going to get.
You might even say controversial.
Controversial, yeah, controversial. We didn't know that we were getting this, and it's a lot cheaper than it has been previously. You get nothing but random Neovisions along the way. You do get some STMR Moogles, some Mystery Crystals, and a Crown, but and a lot of random Neovisions. But at the end, you get one of these. You can choose which one. Global exclusive vision cards. Now we're not going to go over each global exclusive vision card because we've seen all these in the past. We've had them all in the past, but since this is available, I did want to talk about it for a second. What do you think about this step up? And these
if you ignore everything that's coming out in like literally like a week and a half or longer, and you just think about just this step up alone, it has good value. Not the new vision things, because most likely you're going to be on step 1 Cloud, step 2 Coral and the Earth, step 3 Air, Rain and stuff like that, most likely, because I know all about that kind of stuff. But if you look at, you get 100% S-tier Moogle, you get 1 Crown, you get 2 levels on your Mr. Crystal there. You also get one of those cards. Almost all those cards that are shown there are best in slot, including the one at the top there, which everybody wants. But we can't ignore everything that's coming up. There is the Halloween banner that's coming very soon. There is Nier. Like on my channel, I've been prepping everybody. I've been prepping my entire channel, my community, to say, hey, all this stuff is coming. You need to buckle down, man. You need to hold your Lapis. So I've been trying to save everybody's Lapis for a while, and while this step up is very good, I just don't think it's just too hard to pull on it. Unless you're like someone who's paying Lapis. If you're paying Lapis, you probably already spent Lapis on this.
I mean, if you're paying Lapis all the time, you've probably already purchased this, but a lot of people are new to the game, following the Goldbaz hype train and going for the Dazzling Demoness card because of that. The rest of the cards are getting a little skipped. I would say if you were going to go on this, the secondary card would, I guess, be the Elena one.
Ironically, the Elena one's going to see a lot more value in about like 6 months, maybe less, because True Duel got buffed to being 400%, and it's being known right now that getting 400% True Duel is actually pretty difficult. So this card will be a lot more valuable, but that's a long time from now. So if if you're a paying player and you want to invest in True Duel now, I would think was now the time to get that.
It is there's 2 great cards that are there. The rest of them kind of, they've seen their place. Definitely not the Fina card. That one's terrible.
It is.
It's so bad. But the Dazzling Demoness card is the best in slot for the currently this week OP damage unit Goldbaz, but you're not that far off if you just run the Oliveira card. So I don't know. I don't see it as being needed. And if you're a new player, you don't feel the need to chase just that one card.
No. If you're a new player or someone who's been playing since Anniversary, you should be skipping this entirely, because the Halloween stuff is going to come up very soon and it always has great value. The New Year collaboration that's going to be coming in November has extreme value, I'm sure.
We could be seeing the Chrono Cross collaboration soon. We could be.
Could be. Could be. And that'll also have some...
I just say that because on the JP side, it's what launched on the next week. So it could be soon for us. If
you missed Vaughn and you didn't pull for Vaughn, there will still be another 160% Fire and Peril user.
We could see new Edgar, new Saban soon, new Red Mage Ignis. We could see another Xenogears. Yeah.
And Ignis is definitely a unique unit to look out for. And I think most people have been awakened, because I know most people are just conditioned to think that JP units are not very good. But Ignis is actually one of the diamond in the rough, because he actually has 4 fields, similar to Tsukiko. So most people will be familiar with that now. This guy has 4 fields of Imperils, which is absolutely insane. He also has a very good magic damage dealer, and also he has good breaks, and he has a very good Imperil on his Brave Shift LB. So you can combine that with his fields, so that you don't actually have to bring a dedicated elemental breaker like Emperor or Vaughn or something like that, because it's comparably close with the field and the Imperil LB.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at his fields and trying to find it, and I can't find it easily. He does have 87% defense and spirit breaks.
In his Brave Shift form, he should have 4 here. That's Tornado, Bolting Strike, Quake, and Bolting Strike again. He has Fire, Earth, Water, and Wind and Perils for 35%. For 10 turns, by the way. 10 turns.
He can also imbue all those elements and add 25% buff for all those elements. So he's a Fire, Water, Earth, and Wind imbuer. He's a great support
Very
unit.
good. Very good for someone that's coming out on JP. So Ignis is definitely someone to look out for. And I think during that unofficial stream, I was kind of hyping him up a lot. So I think a lot of people already know about him. But if you are a new player, he is extremely valuable for someone that's coming out of JP. And you don't get to say that very often.
No, that's true. Usually they're quite terrible, because Global just outscales them completely.
Yeah.
So
final words in the step up. If you are someone who's coming to the game since Anniversary, or at least since a few months ago, etc., I think you should skip this. It's tempting. I know all your friends are telling you, hey dude, look at this Dazzling Demoness card, pull for it. I think you need to be the guy that says no thank you. No thank you. I'm good with my Lapis right now.
Yeah. I'll show on screen here real quick. If you really feel like you need to and you don't have any of the cards, you can go to the exchange shop, go to the permanent exchange shops, and if you've ever pulled a premium unit, it's right there, Ticket Exchange Shop. You can scroll down, find Oliveira's card, and just get that instead. And it's going to be a little bit weaker, but not so much that you won't be able to clear the content, honestly. So you'll still be able to use the incredible, amazing guy that you're trying to kit this week. So, all right, so in total for this week, we've got Raging Tempest. If you've got Tyvus, it's worth upgrading it. Beast Killer, it can be skipped unless you really feel like you need it. Fairy Killer's great. Deathbringer is farmable whenever we get the Iron Giant trial. Mythgraven Blade's great for Cecil. The Goldbaz armor, you really only need the curse one. That is an 88% defense and spirit break, so that's pretty nice, equipable. Although only Black Mage Goldbaz can use it. Defender's nice because it has HP on it. Protect is terrible. And the Trust Masteries from the units are kind of good. The STMRs are terrible. The Vision card's god-awful. And Deus loves the step-up for the Vision card.
With an asterisk. With an asterisk.
All right. Anything you want to say in closing for this week?
Save your lapis, please. Save it.
Yeah. So we recorded this video before the news came out for this week for Halloween. So whenever the news is coming out for this week for Halloween, whatever it is, you guys are probably really excited for that, and that's probably way better than this step up. So yeah, go for that.
Yeah, for sure. And if
All
I may
right.
say one more thing, in the comment section down below, I want to see everybody typing in hashtag Save Your Lapis. It needs to be a movement. We need to have movement here, guys.
All right, let's see if we can get that done, guys. All right, thanks everybody for listening. Much love. Peace.
Peace.